Out ways to stay healthy.
And the theater department opens their new play tonight. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for April 15th, 2015. I'm Sarah Singletary.
And I'm Angel Norris. Thank you for joining us this evening. Living a healthy lifestyle can be hard as a college student. Well, today students got some tips and tricks that could help them out. Jordan Elston has the details.
Troy University students had the opportunity to get a few helpful hints on how to live a healthier lifestyle at the Wellness Fair.
Yeah, the Health and Wellness Committee and Trojan Outreach are sponsoring a wellness fair in order to just get some information about wellness and overall health out to students and faculty and staff.
McCain also says that she is hopeful that students will gain a lot of useful information after attending the fair.
We're hoping that it's going to have a great effect on the students, just to inform them more about what resources are in the area that can contribute to their wellness, and also about just some basic health education.
Many tables were set up to present a variety of information. I spoke with a few students to find out what they learned.
The coolest thing that we found is the KHP department doing the BMI. I'd never had that done before, so that was something that we really enjoyed doing while we were here, was getting our BMI done.
I feel like it's very educational. Like, I've been around here, walking around, and it's really good. What they're telling us is great. We're learning about nutrition. And over here they have, you weigh yourself, see how much you weigh, see how much of your mass is muscle weight and fat weight. It's really a good experience, educational.
The students also said that they would love to see this event again, but on a larger scale.
It is, but with the term Wellness Center, I would like to see more people here about healthy eating, telling you what you need to eat, more samples maybe. I would like to see it again, but I would like to see more.
Absolutely, maybe on a bigger scale too. Because I feel like I was required to come here for my class, but I feel like it would be cool if everybody could see where it was and actually know about it.
This is Jordan Elston reporting for Troy TrojanVision News.
The next health and wellness event will be announced in the upcoming fall.
Tonight, Troy's theater department will debut a classic play with a connection to the state of Alabama, To Kill a Mockingbird. Victoria Sabinina gives us a preview.
On Wednesday, Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance is going to present their new play, To Kill a Mockingbird. It covers the very important issues for the modern American society.
When I knew that it was available in play form, I thought this was maybe a good time to bring out this story about understanding other people, looking across racial lines, just taking a minute to see people as people instead of as something other that you don't understand.
A lot of main things that have to do with race, you see it all the time on television, see it all the time in the news, and this play, it's not just about race, but it's about truth and about justice. So there's a lot of things in this play that's caused by race that we address, that this play addresses.
We have that chance to take that next little step, to take that little step towards change and progression, and I think that's what Maudie really stands for in this play, is a progressive mind, and just a mind that's against the hate but knows there is hate in the world, and you just have to keep on loving people to get by it.
The actors of the play are current Troy University students. However, there is one alumnus among them, and he explained why he decided to join the play.
I graduated from here in 1992. I graduated with a theater and speech degree. I'm a pastor in Enterprise, Alabama, and it just worked out. It worked out, and it's a role that I thought if it ever came up, I'd like to do it, and do it in a quality production. And I knew it would be quality here because I knew Tori and I knew all people here who work here, and my son's a student here in this department, so I knew it would be quality.
The performers have rehearsed for several weeks, and now they are ready to show what they prepare. Victoria Sabinina, Troy, TrojanVision News.
To Kill a Mockingbird opens tonight in the Trojan Center and will run through Sunday. Showtime for tonight through Saturday will be at 7:30, and Sunday's matinee will begin at 2:30. Tickets are available in the Trojan Center box office. For some professors, lessons to students are limited to what happens in the classroom, but that's not always the case.
In today's Trojan Profile, Cesar Haurigi introduces us to a professor whose activity outside the classroom has given him some big recognition.
Professor Joe McCall is one of the most involved faculty on campus, teaching an extremely diverse group of history classes. But his lessons are not just about history. They teach us about being human.
I'll go to the fraternities and sororities and sometimes to some of the psychology classes, the counseling classes, and share my story. I'm a recovering alcoholic and addict. I've been clean since 1983. So I've been sober and clean longer than most of my young'uns have been alive.
Mr. McCall is not only a beloved professor, but he is deeply involved with student organizations outside of the classroom, including the International Student Culture Organization and the NAACP.
For a lot of years, I was the advisor to NAACP. But then I started getting involved with ISCO, the International Student Culture Organization, as their advisor. And over the last 3-4 years, that's become my main activity.
Professor McCall tells us how being involved with the international community changed his life in a way he could have never imagined.
I was living over in the married student housing, and more and more they started sending some of the Chinese scholars to live in that same residential complex. And it took an interesting twist. Because I wound up meeting one scholar that moved in downstairs. I was living on the 3rd floor, she was living on the 2nd floor, and she became my wife.
Though he is involved in many organizations, Professor McCall tells us what he finds most important about his job.
And a passion I have is to work with students. It's amazing to have a job where you go to work and it doesn't matter whether they paid you or not, you'd still want to do it.
McCall has won many accolades, including the First Year Studies Advocate Award, the Greek Advocate Award, and even the prestigious Ingalls Award for Excellence in Teaching. Cesar Haurigi, Troy, TrojanVision News.
In our next installment of Trojan Profile, we will meet a student from China whose snake collection might make some squeamish.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. The Alabama Senate has approved a nearly $6 billion education budget that includes more money for pre-kindergarten and additional middle school teachers. Senators unanimously approved the budget yesterday. It now moves to the House of Representatives.
An 80-year-old grandfather in Albertville has experienced his first high school prom. James Papa Drain said his granddaughter Joy Webb asked him to be her date for Saturday. The prom was the first for Webb and Drain, who never had the chance to attend while he was young.
And the 2-year-old is in the custody of the State Department of Human Resources after being found home alone with knives and a bucket of bleach water. Police responded to a call on Saturday from a woman who heard a child crying from inside the home. Firefighters also responded to the Gadsden home and entered through a side door.
Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the women's golf team wrapped up the final day of the Sun Belt Conference Championships. Find out how they did when Amy Austin joins us in sports.
Plus, Hillary Clinton gets a head start on the 2016 campaign. We'll have more on that when we come back.
Hillary Clinton continues her up-close and personal style of campaigning. I'm Marley Hall in Norwalk, Iowa, with the latest coming up.
This Friday, Troy's University Activities Council presents Need to Breathe, featuring Ben Rector in the Trojan Arena. Tickets are now available for the show. $15 for students, $30 for the general public. Student tickets can be purchased from 10 to 2 in the Trojan Center food court. Tickets for the general public can be purchased at ticketreturn.com. Need to Breathe, featuring Ben Rector, this Friday at 7 o'clock in the Trojan Arena. Buy your tickets now.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
The women's golf team did it again. The Trojans are the 2015 Sun Belt Conference champions. For the Trojans, Langley Vanoy tied a career low with a 3-under 69. Becca Horner shot her first career under par with a 1-under 71. Troy shot a 301 in the tournament. The next closest team was Arkansas Little Rock, who shot a .309. This makes the Trojans back-to-back champions for both 2014 and 2015. The first conference championship was last year as Troy claimed the 2014 title. The Trojans will now await an NCAA regional bid. The Troy softball team grabbed its third shutout victory of the season as they traveled to face Florida A&M last night. Troy defeated the Rattlers 2-0 Tuesday at the Lady Rattler softball complex in Tallahassee. Ashley Rainey pitched a complete game shutout and only allowed 4 hits and 1 walk. Carly Kaler went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Michelle Phelps had the only extra base hit, a double, for Troy in the first inning. Khadijah Neely went 1 for 2 with a single and drew a walk. The Trojans will be back in action on Saturday as they travel to Statesboro, Georgia for a Sunbelt series with Georgia Southern. The Trojan baseball team's midweek troubles continued as Sanford used 14 hits, including 3 home runs, to defeat Troy on Tuesday night in Birmingham. The Bulldogs scored 3 runs off Troy starter Ben Tidwell and never looked back en route to a 13-2 victory over Troy. The 11-run margin of victory for Sanford was tied for the most against Troy in the team's 56-game series history. Sanford added a run in the third off Tidwell, who took the loss and dropped to 0-2 on the season. The Trojans are now 1-8 in midweek games this season. Clay Holcomb was the only Trojan to record multiple hits. He finished 2 for 4. And head coach Bobby Pierce said his team is still struggling in midweek games.
We did not play very well. We've had this issue going on for quite some time with our midweek games. Defensively, we had some breakdowns. Offensively, I think we ended up with 8 or 9, maybe 10 hits, but we really couldn't push across runs. We left 8 or 10 on base. And then Sanford's got a very, very good offensive team, and they were able to get some big hits during the game and then stretch the game out.
Troy will travel to Texas to take on UT Arlington over the weekend. The series opens on Friday at 6:30 p.m. And while the midweek woes continued for the baseball team, there was some recognition for one of the players. Right-handed pitcher Grant Bennett was named Sunbelt Conference Pitcher of the Week. In the series sweep of Arkansas State, Bennett started in the Friday night game. He pitched the complete game for the Trojans. Bennett is now 7-1 on the season, and assistant coach Brad Phillips said Bennett, along with other pitchers, contribute to the weekend series wins.
The big boost is our Friday-Saturday combo, Grant Bennett and Lucas Brown. Being able to get 7-8 innings out of those two guys on a regular basis is something nice to have going into each weekend, and that saves the bullpen for Sunday.
This is Bennett's second Sunbelt Conference award. The men's golf team still has a little time to continue preparing for the Sunbelt Conference Championships. The team has competed in 5 different tournaments leading up to the conference tournament. In 2 of those tournaments, the Trojans brought home a 2nd place and 3rd place finish. And head coach Matt Terry said if his team performs like they should, they could win it all.
You know, without a shadow of a doubt, the guys want to win. They feel like they're the best team in the conference, and you know, my biggest thing for them is we just need to go there and handle our business. And if we do the best we can, we'll see what happens. Some team may come up and beat us, but I feel like if we can go down there and do what we got to do and keep the ball in play off the tee and make as many putts as we can, we'll end up on top.
The Sunbelt Conference tournament will begin for the men's golf team on Sunday.